monument of there. And I got to talking to her, and her daddy was in Warsaw, Poland. They was going to kill him the next day or so. We liberated.
Was there a lot of fighting around Warsaw?
No, there wasn't too much fighting. We had them on the run back then. And you know, we just had to catch them. And then we went to France and Germany, and you know where Hitler's home is there? The 101st Airborne, they dropped them there on it.
I understand you fought in the Battle of the Bulge.
Yes, sir.
Could you tell us what it was like at the Battle of the Bulge?
It's terrible. They would come in screaming, and like suicide, you know, the suicide people. We were there for a while, we were shooting our own tanks because they had captured them from the 9th Armored that was overrun.
How long were you in the Battle of the Bulge?
22 days.
Was it cold?
35 below zero. Our tank, the snow, it kept snowing and snowing, and the snow was about 4 foot deep, and it froze so hard that to hold our tank up.
Would you tell us what it was like during the fighting at the Battle of the Bulge?
We just in the tank, shooting the tanks, the infantry and all of that. I don't know. It would happen so quick. You just had to be on your guard.
Didn't get much sleep.
Huh?
You didn't get much sleep.
We didn't get no sleep during the war. We didn't have no water and nothing there. Because see, it was cold, it'd freeze the water and stuff. That picture I showed you, that's 3 days after the bulge, and where we went back and shaved and washed up, changed clothes.
How did you stay warm?
We didn't. Of course, like I said, our old tank would, the heat would come up from behind, see, and
So
but inside, it was an airplane motor in it, and it would almost blow you out of there. It was a coop.
So you had to leave your tank running?
Well, it's just kind of up to, you know, what we did, but most time it wasn't running, only maybe of a night or something like that. Well, see, the Germans could hear that motor and all, and they would just artillery us.
You tried to hide the tanks.
Huh?
Did you try to hide the tanks?
No, sir.
No.
We couldn't. There wasn't no hiding to it. When you're in battle, there ain't no hiding to it. You just gotta outmaneuver the other tanks. Our tank was so fast, you see. And then before it got cold there, the old German tanks would hang up. We never hung up in there at time.
But the German tanks would get
Yeah, they would get stuck. Yes, sir. And their turret would only travel to 45 degrees like that, see. And see, they couldn't shoot from behind or side. And we could outmaneuver them. Our tank destroyer would not knock them out. We had to like the track, dismount them that way.
You tried to shoot at the tracks?
Yeah, we'd have to shoot the tracks because our bullets would just bounce off of them. They're deadly.
Your unit was part of Patton's army.
Yes, sir. We spearhead. We was #1 tanks in the Taylor Shore. They led the other tank, all the other tanks.
You led the way into Germany?
Yes, sir. We went all the way through Germany and France, Belgium, Luxembourg,
Where was the bridge that you had to hold?
Vermont. There's a picture of it, if you've ever seen it. My son, get that picture, was showing it, he said, oh, they blowed the bridge up. I said, no, all will fall off was there two arms on the side of it, and that's what happened.
So you were able to protect the bridge?
We protected it, we saved it. We come back across, that's the last battle we fought.
Were the Germans trying to destroy the bridge?
Yeah, they had it. Enough dynamite and stuff in there, explosion to to wipe it out.
And you were able to disarm the dynamite?
Well, we had infantry that went under, water and stuff, but it took it, and our shells would knock the wires and things loose on it, that it didn't blow up, only a part of it.
Did you ever see any Germans close up during that battle?
I saw billions of them. Yes, sir. But see, in that picture, I packed a little carbine too, and I slept with that for. I was never awake with it. Eat with it, slept with it.
Did you ever capture a German?
We didn't capture. We didn't take no prisoners. We knocked a lot of them off. We was once or twice. We was fixing to make a move, and here come this big old car, fine car, and they took him and they asked him if there's any stuff there. He said, oh, there's nothing there. So we sent a reconnaissance net, and there's tanks was landing up there. So my sergeant, he got rid of him. He was dead. Well, that was at the bridge at Vermont. That was the next morning after the battle was over. I walked down to a house. I said, well, I figure what's in here. So I opened the door and went in, and there stood this big German officer. And on the left, the bed was a lady's gun and a field glasses. So I walked over and picked the field glasses and the gun up, turned around and started to walk out, and I looked at him and I said, go home, soldier, the war's over.
So you left him alone?
That's the last contact I came with German, face to face.
I understand you received 5, was it 6 brown stars?
Yes, sir.
And
that was for each major battle that I fought in. I fought in all 5 major battles. It's on the discharge where it tells you where I fought. Each one of them was fought.
And one of those places was the Ardennes during the Battle of the Bulge.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of them. The D-Day, and well, it tells you on my discharge. It's France, Normandy, and I can't remember all the names of the thing. But
Where were you when you got word that the war was over?
I was at the bridge at Vermont, the last battle.
How did they tell you?
I don't know, they called our head officer and they. See, we had radio contact and stuff.
Okay. So it was after you were notified the war was over that you ran across this German officer?
Yes, sir. That next morning, we was fixing to pull out and go back. We went back to Dinkelfield, Germany, and that's another prison camp, war They made cuckoo clocks there. It's called the Black Forest.